Dr. Sharma sponsoring the podcast. We have his stuff up here, Existential Counseling Society, and we do have some news from him. He was able to get past through the planning and the zoning and...
I think the zoning, he has another one tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then he comes before you and talks in front of you.
And it's a great program, I got to tell you. So what he's doing is he's making an all-female rehab clinic out of the old cellar down on Patterson Road. And so it's kind of ironic.
Do you know what that is? The old cellar?
No, I don't know what it is.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Well, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
But you know what? We passed a bunch of those things already.
So
You know,
it's
and
going to be a completely women-ran facility and a women-run, completely 100% women-run operation. So it's going to be a residential rehab for women, and then everyone that working there will be a woman as well. So it's going to be a great thing for the community.
Needed.
It's needed. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I was on my way here, and I came down by Western and I forgot what street that is, Western and Center, and I was taking a left to come up Plainfield Road, and there's a guy standing in the middle of the intersection. There's no nothing to stand on. He's just standing there, and he's got two fingers in the air. And I was like, see, there's absolutely no reason that guy's not fucking crazy because he's standing in the middle of a road, right? So there's that. And then I was like, but this is the problem. What do we do with them? They're just, Steve and I were talking about this before we come on, and what happens when they opt out of treatment, right? So that's a plan that needs to be put in place. We're working on it. And we want to thank Dr. Sharma for helping us out.
What do you mean
here.
when they opt out of treatment? You mean like if they walk out before they're done?
Correct.
Well, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
they
there's
have
really nothing you
They
can
have
do.
a time limit sometimes.
Yeah, 28 days.
28 days, but a lot of them, like we were talking about before we came on the air, a lot of them are voluntary programs, man. They can get up and walk out. You can't hold them prisoner to make them sober up. You know what I
Right.
mean? And the problem is that outside of what Dr. Sharma does there, it's really not his problem what happens to them after they leave, because you can't police everything, right?
Right.
We can't control all
The
of
good
that.
thing with Dr. Sharma, though, he will call the police.
Yeah.
And he will try to get them to their destination if they want to go home, if they want to get on the train, because a lot
That's
of
great.
these guys live south.
Can I tell you something about this?
Absolutely. Let me hear it, Steve.
The first thing you got to know is I don't care what I was told because I think it's a bunch of baloney.
About what?
The state's attorney had a special meeting
Okay.
and told all of us that are on the county board we cannot talk to anybody about any case that's going to come before us in land use. And I told him it's nuts. Get me a written legal opinion.
Wow.
And guess what? I never got a written legal opinion. I called my lawyer, and he told me it's America. We could do and say whatever we want, and we can listen to people talk. We just can't
Absolutely.
say I'm going to vote yes or no.
And I'm
that
not
with
here,
any
and we're not here lobbying
I
for
just
that
wanna
cause.
be
You know what I'm saying?
clear,
We were just
'cause-
absolutely, and I appreciate your
Wait,
honesty.
When you say the state's attorney, you mean Jim Glasscock?
No,
Carl,
not him.
whatever?
The guy that,
The assistant one?
yeah, we had a
Okay,
whole
gotcha.
bunch of them. They
Okay.
make so many mistakes. It's
and
terrible.
maybe let me back up there. We're not lobbying. We're just,
No,
No,
Dr. Sharma happens to be
I just brought it up
Yeah, I
because
appreciate that.
somebody's going to say, hey,
Yeah.
he's talking about a land use case or something that might come up.
Yep.
Well, too bad.
It's
I can
America.
talk however I
called
want
freedom of
and
speech.
listen
I knew I
to
was gonna
whatever
love
I
this
Well,
want.
one.
and the hand language, but no, freedom of speech. That's all.
I've been waiting on
You
this
got to
one.
make it clear, right?
Yeah,
No.
absolutely. Okay, so with that being said, fireworks right out of the gate. I love it. We're going to get into some cool stuff tonight. Steve, I had the Will County executive here last week, and she was saying that you're a great guy. She loves working with you. I was like, man, that's the nicest thing I've ever seen a Democrat say about you in my life. I was like, hold on, who are you? You know? And so she's a great person. She's actually hard to not like. I was telling Blaine, I'm like, she's actually kind of hard to not like. She's just a normal person to me. And the funny thing is, she was my substitute teacher when I was in 8th grade
Oh,
in
God.
1991 at St. Mary Magdalene back in the
What
day.
what a small world.
I know. So, Steve, when she was here, we were talking about the Will County budget. And you and I, before we came on, we're talking about some things on the budget. We have some other stuff to get to that I think is really great as well. But let's kind of go into that. Let's talk about the tax levy real quick, because there's some kind of back and forth on that, and I just want to get your opinion on it.
Okay. First off, I like Jennifer too.
Yeah.
You know, we get along fine. We don't agree on nothing probably in policy wise, but I shouldn't say that.
Fair enough.
Probably about 80% we don't agree, but we get along great.
You respect
That's
each other.
That's all that matters.
You have to in this business. Otherwise, you're going to end up like Terry Newsom and Joe Severino.
Oh, God.
And a banana.
And a banana.
yeah.
But
Anyways.
anyway, the budget is a part of the levy,
Sure.
but it's not really the money that you pay in your taxes. So every year I've been on that board, 14 years, they'll be coming up on.
Sure.
So whenever we had a meeting, like I wouldn't go to any of the committee meetings for the budget because I thought it was a total waste of time. Why should I go sit for an hour or 2 or 3 or whatever? And I know that on the day that we're going to vote on it, there's going to be a fight on the floor and everything's going to change.
Right.
So why waste time? I wait for the real thing, right?
Sure.
So that's the same thing this year, the same thing last year. And when we cut the budget, which we've done in the past, the staff always found the cuts.
Okay.
And reason for that is I'm on a county board. I don't know, like there was Judy Ogala gave an example. Somebody had a $5,000 cost for paper.
Sure.
Well, okay, and then now it's 12,000.
Right.
All right.
The paper's expensive these days.
Well,
huh?
what happened? I went up a little bit, but to go up that much,
Right.
right? So the point is, we don't know each department and their needs. So they might have had a project that they had to use a lot more paper coming up,
Sure.
but we don't know. So we don't have the capability
Right.
of, because
You're
we
looking
get
at the hard numbers.
yeah, we get a number and that's it. We don't get why. And if we want to know why, then we got to drag them in and talk to them. And they don't even want to come, I'm sure.
And half the time they don't even know why, probably.
Well, that could be too.
You know?
You know, the heads of the department probably know, but maybe not. You know, so so the staff should do it. So that was the big argument because we cut the budget to zero. I mean, the levy to zero. That's the property tax that people pay.
Okay.
The budget is just numbers that are put on a hunk of paper
Operating expenses, basically.
for expenses, and it's supposed to match the budget.
Sure.
But it doesn't have to.
Okay, and that's where a lot of let me back up. That's where a lot of the confusion came in, right? Because a lot of people were saying that the budget doesn't have to balance, but then some of the Democrats were saying the budget does need to balance, and so it's kind of the back and forth that I was watching on Facebook go back and forth.
It's a lot of people trying to get their way, and they're saying this or that, trying to make other people look bad, which is dumb. You know, so the
Political
fact
double
is,
speak. is
Well,
what
I'm gonna
word
tell you
salad.
that I'm gonna tell you that Destiny, was that her name, Destiny Ortiz, who
Right.
voted for that. She took a lot of heck for that because they said that she sold her vote so that she could get consulting money for a company out of I think there's one out of Aurora. There's another consulting firm too. I had them. I can't find them now, but
I don't believe all that.
that's just what I was told.
I mean,
and so,
let me put it like this: if somebody gave her money for a campaign donation, that don't mean she's going to sell her
no,
soul.
I
for
think
it.
I think it was to a some kind of consulting company that they had made a donation to or something like that. I have to go back and look at it. I
Still
shouldn't have-
doesn't
Yeah,
look right.
listen.
It doesn't.
Destiny is a young girl.
Sure.
She's probably scared to death about what she's going through right now because I guarantee you her side is on top of her.
But her
pushing.
phone never stops ringing.
Oh,
How long has Destiny been on the board now?
2 years.
Okay. Yeah, so she's still kind of new and figuring
Old
it
enough
out.
to know better.
Yes, this is
She
true.
might, you know what? She might be longer than 2 years, but it's not. She's new,
Right.
but she's a nice girl, and she's. You know what she told me? She's been out knocking doors because she's up for election,
Sure.
and every house is telling her, "Hey, we can't afford the taxes." And to me, when you raise taxes, you're doing
can't afford
something
taxes.
immoral to people because you're hurting every single individual that has to pay that high tax.
Well, and I asked Jennifer Bertino this. Tell me why Illinois can't take away property tax like Florida is going to try to do. Why can't we do it?
Because everybody's corrupt.
There you go.
I mean, put it
Well,
like,
and the other side of it is all the one percenters left New York that went to Florida, right? I
Yep.
think I talked about this last week. They all went to Florida. They can all afford the $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million homes down there, right? So they're down there, and I don't think there should be property tax. I think that after you've paid your home off, it's your home. Like I don't,
Or there shouldn't be property tax for seniors.
absolutely
What
not.
about veterans? I mean, like
agree.
I'm a
there's
senior. I
Hey,
go
hold
along
on,
with
though.
that.
Veterans do get no money down financing. On
there's
stuff,
yes,
too.
they get certain perks.
So,
but
yeah,
but
as,
you know what?
As a military
They were
wife, it's
hurt.
not much that we get.
I get
trust
it,
me.
and they're like, "Oh, thanks a lot. I almost got my ass
That's
shot off
that's
for a
very
free
little.
loan."
Well, if a guy got hurt in the military,
That's it. Yep, I'm with you.
all right, they are gifting their lives.
But I
for
think
us.
seniors for sure.
Yeah, and
65 on up.
my dad
you-
just
you
passed
paid
away.
your
He's a
dues.
retired colonel.
Yes.
So he just passed. So
I'm sorry.
I've been to Fort Bragg. I've been to Fort Bliss. I've been to all of them. I've lived on the road of
Wow.
of the infantry officer. That's what he was. And so it's really, yes, they do get a lot. They should get a lot more. They don't get paid for shit while they're there. I mean, think about one of these guys from SEAL Team 6 gets what, $60,000, $70,000 That's
It's
like
not
their
much.
salary.
Wow.
Think about that. We're
The
sending these
government
guys
jobs
over.
do not pay, and neither does the military. It just
Absolutely not.
doesn't.
But you know what does pay? Government contracting jobs.
Ding, 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 ding.
Mhm.
That's what pays.
Oh yeah.
And I know this because a relative of mine is in military intelligence, and he's over, let's just say he's over that way across where, people in Russia have a problem with. And he's been offered at the age of, like, I think he's 21, probably $200,000 a year. I mean, starting just to defense contractors want to hire him like tomorrow because it's all about their clearance.
And
So when they-
counterintelligence, yes.
Yes. So as long as they have a top security clearance, they can take that with them to the private sector. So then they don't have to apply for clearances on the private sector. So don't ask me how I just went down that
Wow.
rabbit hole. But okay, I want to talk about something that's really good. Speaking of Florida, because Florida does have the school choice, right?
Yeah.
There is a National Educational Choice for Children's Act. It'll go into effect on January 1st of 2027. It's already been passed into law. So the dollar tax credits will be given to donors residing anywhere in the U.S. up to $1,700, right?
Right.
So we have to opt into that program in Illinois. Is that
Well, the governor has to sign us to go opt in. We just don't do it. It's the
right?
governor
Right. No,
signs
that's
it.
it's the same thing that happened with the no tax on tips. The governor
Yeah,
decided
he
to not
decided
opt in.
not.
Now
How
you're
do you
getting
kill your
taxed on
base
paint,
like
by
that,
the way.
though? That's his base. He just took his feet out from under him.
I think that these people are so hung up about being Democrats and hating Trump that they don't
not
care.
paying
They don't
attention to
care
what's
if you
actually
stuck a
being
knife in them.
passed.
They love to argue, man. I see it on the Trump side. I see it. They just go nuts on each other, and we don't get anything done when people do that, right? Like there's nothing we're gonna get done. And Trump didn't come into actually the friendliest terms either in Washington. So what's the deal on this, Steve? Let's
So-
talk about just break it down for me in layman's terms.
So, in layman's terms, it's real simple. There's a $1,700 tax credit that you get dollar for dollar.
Okay.
So, if you live in Illinois, you can donate $1,700 to help children have something. There's so many things, so I couldn't say exactly what.
Sure.
So let's just say they need a tutor, and you got to pay a tutor. Whether you're in public school, Catholic school, private school, it don't matter, homeschool,
Sure.
you could take the money for that child and hire a tutor. Okay?
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Great. It's a great program. All right. It's funded by the federal government, not the states. The state don't have to pay. So now we have the program, and if I have $1,700 that I want to donate, which I'll get back on my income tax,
Sure.
so it won't matter. I'll get the exact dollar amount back,
Sure.
right? I live in Illinois. Governor Pritzker doesn't sign on to it. I get the money from the Fed still.
Oh, okay.
I get it. The kids that want to get help here, they get nothing. They get nothing, zero. Why? Because Governor Pritzker don't sign the bill. So
It's
I brought it up
unbelievable.
last month, and I thought it was good.
Sure.
I thought, why wouldn't Democrats who are supposed to like children want to do this,
Sometimes
right?
a little too much.
And
I'm quick. Anyway.
But anyway, they start talking bad. They go, what about the teachers union? And it just hurts public schools. And how does it hurt public schools? How does it hurt the teachers union? Don't hurt nobody. The only one that gets hurt are our kids and the people that gave the money thinking it's going to go to Illinois because they ain't going to know
Sure.
the truth.
So-
It's going to go to Indiana or Texas.
So when it comes to schools, what I'd love to see is I'd love to see the kids that are on the east side of Joliet be able to go to the private schools on the west side of Joliet.
I've been an advocate for
Exactly.
vouchers since I've been in
They should have the
politics, and
opportunity.
I
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
back to
And they shouldn't have to play basketball or
1983.
football to get it.
I think that you have to have vouchers.
Sure.
If you have vouchers, you have better schools because then it puts competition into your schools. Your kids are able to read then because now they don't even read.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's true.
I mean,
It's
I
100% true.
got a friend that owns a store, and he says he hires kids that are 18 to 23 to start, and they start them at 18 something an hour, and they got to have a whole week of sitting there each day learning about nickels, dimes, quarters, half
That's
dollars,
insane.
and don't give them a silver dollar. They don't know what the hell that is.
I had that happen to me not too long ago. I gave this girl at McDonald's, I gave her exact change, which was the crazier part, right? Because I had like 27 cents and I gave her some cash. I gave it to her and she just kind of
Yep.
stood there and she, the look, right?
It's
And they
the
have
annoyed look,
absolutely
like,
no idea
why
what the
would
fuck
you
they're
do
doing.
this
And
to
they're just
me?
like,
Yep.
and so I was like, that's 27 cents. And that's the whole dollar. So you're just going to give me $5 back. And she was just like,
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, she had shit hanging off her face, and like, so for me, I tell my kids, like, you want to get tattoos and piercings and shit like that, cool,
Mhm.
get them where people can't see them, because you
That's
know what,
that was the rule of thumb in the 80s when I was a little
regardless
punker.
of how society should accept you for them, the fact is they don't. And when people are sitting at the McDonald's window with shit hanging off of their face and bull rings in their fucking nose and all the other crazy shit, um, I just tell my kids, I'm like, if you want to do that for the rest of your life, just go ahead, and I'm gonna get murdered for saying
You
that.
are. I'm just
Gonna
sitting here
get
thinking,
beat
oh man,
up
we're
for
gonna
saying
get
this
it.
shit. I don't care.
I know.
Well, I agree with you. So I'll get murdered too.
Well,
My kids get straight A's, every one of them. You know what I mean?
it's the
So-
hard truth, unfortunately.
I
you
know,
It
but I'm
is.
just sitting here thinking, oh man.
But but the problem is we're really fucked if the generation that's behind us is gonna have to step up to go to war for us,
Oh,
or
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
They don't know cursive either. I
No.
noticed.
They don't
Yeah.
know how to read the time with like a
I know
clock.
on a watch. I know.
It's got to be digital.
it's
Yeah.
insane.
And what
and,
the heck?
and that's why with our curriculum in schools, it's kind of stupid. We have the math and geometry, and like, great. How many of those kids are going to be physicists that need all of that algebra and all that shit, right? Like, if you
Right.
want to take that, go take it.
Well, you know, you need it for critical thinking.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. For real. That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah, I
A
can
lot
see
of
that.
people don't want to use critical thinking anymore, Steve.
Well, it's because they can just run with the narrative. They can
Mhm.
open up their phone
They
and
can
look
use
at.
AI as here I am like looking up scholarship stuffs that we have in Illinois. And I'm cheating right now. But like
Well, there's a lot though. If you look at it, there's a
Well,
lot of
here,
scholarships.
my daughter goes to Catholic school. So
Okay.
but it's here you're talking tuition is about $7,000 a year. And so
Absolutely.
there was a program and they took it away for a couple of years. Like this was legislature downstate that did this to us about 2 years ago. So the Empower Illinois scholarship program, and it's like winning the lottery because it's for low income families, and it's so few and so many that are putting in for it. It literally is a lottery system,
Yeah.
and so it's very very tough, and very few children are able to get it. So then what other
By
options
the time you
do
go through
have?
the red tape, it's not even worth
You know,
it.
and these kids that are coming in, so at our school that we go to, you know, you have a lot of kids that the parents, because after COVID, so many children were hurt with the reading ability. I mean, look at how our proficiency rates have just plummeted in the state of Illinois, and how Pritzker just changed the level, right? And instead of, you know, like trying to strengthen it, no, he lowered the proficiency level
Yeah.
so Illinois didn't look as bad anymore. And so when you've got that going on, then parents should have a choice. Where do I just send my child to fail and continue to fail? You know,
Right.
like, and you hear these. We used
And
to
they
go
don't
to
have a
school.
choice. If you don't live in
No.
that neighborhood, you don't live, and you don't have 10
Yeah.
grand a month or whatever it is. I'm
We would
exaggerating,
go
but
to school board meetings. I kid you not. And this was Lockport Township High School. They love me over there. So we would go to these board meetings, and I would explain to them about, because they love to jack up the tax levies, right?
Sure.
But what are you doing to prove that you deserve the money? After COVID funding, they still continued to increase their salaries, increase all their spending. They didn't do any cutbacks except on curriculum. They cut back on curriculum. They cut back on extracurricular activities, and children weren't even going to school for
and let's
almost
not
2
talk
years.
about what the joke of e-learning was. You know what I
Well,
mean?
every parent learned what your kids, what they really, like 20 minutes for one session. And even the Catholic schools were just as guilty about it. It
Oh,
was
sure.
everybody with the e-learning was like, oh my goodness, what is going on in a classroom for an hour per, course?
And for my wife and I, we were like, "This is what a day looks like for you guys." Like that, there are 5. You know what I mean? Like, this is what a day looks like for a 6-year-old, and it was insane.
Yeah. And so I think that was the rude awakening, right? Like,
Sure.
and then you had parents that all of a sudden like jumped up and said, hey, I don't like what I'm seeing, right? They had to actively participate because everybody was home with their kids.
Sure.
And then after COVID started going, back to normal, people started going back to normal, and they started going back to sleep. So it's like, okay, my kid is being babysat again. I don't have the time to invest in this anymore. And so that's where I'm disappointed. It's like, we're the same people who were standing up and rallying. I want a better education for my children, because the schools are telling you now it's more about the well-being, and I'm all for well-being.
That's right.
But I'm sending my child not just for well-being, I'm sending my child for an education. Why has the test scores keep dropping and dropping, and their excuses, but their well-being is more important than a test score. No, it's not. That's my opinion. That's a lot of people's opinions.
Well, why do you think there's
how do
mental
you change
illness?
it?
Well, that's it. That's just it.
You know what? Money is one
It
of the
all
major
leads right back to
causes
that.
of mental illness.
That's right.
One of the main ones. So these kids can't think of how to solve a problem,
Nope.
and they don't know how to read well. So that means they don't know how to function in society with a job.
Right.
So all of a sudden they ain't making money. Their parents die or leave them. What
Right.
do? They got to go be a crook or something because they can't live.
So, my 12-year-old got bitten by a dog, right? And this is probably a couple years ago. And this is a big golden retriever. Jumped up and got him right here. Big tooth mark in there. And due to that, he got a settlement. And so we went petition the court, and I said, "Hey, listen, I want to be able to invest it for him. I'm not going to let you lock it up for 0.05% of an interest rate, right?" And the judge was like, "Fine, that's fine if you want to invest it for him." So we sit down and we go over his investment once a week. And then once a month, we go over to the Edward Jones office and we sit down and we learn about money and we learn about
Wow.
we learn about trading and investing and what kind of stocks we should watch and what kind of stocks we shouldn't watch and how kind of mutual funds he has. Because if I don't teach him that shit, the school's not going to teach him. And we have a great school in Wilmington. They are fantastic teachers. I will say that about them because they are from the old school down there, right? They're not like when they see me coming, they know I'm mad. They're like, "I get it." You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, why do I have to keep bringing stuff over here? Like, remember your shit,
Yeah.
And the ladies in the office are like, "Yep, I get it," And it's great to have educators like that, right? That aren't just this new wave of, rainbows and lollipops and shit. You know what I mean? Because I went to Catholic school, man, and the last thing I wanted was for them to call my mom.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Same.
I wasn't gonna live if you called my mom. Like, you can put me in detention, that's cool, but I'm not gonna live for getting detention either. But so I spent.
Detention meant something back in the
Yeah.
day. It's
Whew.
like don't do that
When I
again.
went to
Yeah.
Providence, detention was 8 to 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
Oh, Saturday jugs, we used to
Oh,
call
yeah.
them.
Yes, that was
Well,
brutal.
we had worse than you. They used to
We'd always be hungover.
get a paddle and they pull your pants down
yeah.
in front of the class, and they have a big long stick. It's
Wow.
a paddle, and they
That's
start
absolutely right.
That
whacking
explains
you.
a lot, Steve.
And they start whacking you. And I mean,
I'm not gonna say we should beat kids. I'll leave that up to Chuck Bratz.
that was
but
brothers.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
the brothers will get you. The nuns will really get you.
The nuns, they hurt your nose. They put you in the blackboard and throw a circle, and they hit in the
I
back
got
of the
punched
head.
in the chest.
Man, they were ruthless.
And they never missed with an eraser.
And they were even more brutal on the girls.
yeah,
They would
because
say
they
some
could be.
raw shit to them, man.
Oh,
They
yeah.
would be like, "Look at you, you little blah blah." blah. And I was like, "Damn, they can say that."
Wow.
Yep.
But okay, Jen, what else you got, man? Let's just kind of shoot the shit for a minute.
I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about tonight? Blaine, got any goodies?
Oh, we want to talk about the health department. We were talking about that before we came on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
What are your thoughts on the health department in Will County?
When you hire people, it should come from your budget or your levy, actually from the levy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get free money
Right.
in the past, which makes sense, we tell them, okay, you got $5 million extra from ARPA. I'm just making this up.
So,
All right. So don't take it and hire people. And if you do hire people, when the money goes away, guess what? There's no money. You got to fire the people. The program ends. The grant money went away.
right. Grant
Or-
money doesn't last forever.
As soon as it's
Oh, that
gone,
COVID
it goes
money.
away.
That was
Anything.
Huge,
So
you guys.
So
huge.
the health
PPP
department
loans.
hires a bunch of people with grant money, basically.
Mhm.
That's kind of
And
what they do, though, right?
no,
like, a lot of those programs
they
are
get
through
state
grants.
funding, though, I
Mental
think.
health
nothing
grants
wrong.
have been
There's-
heavy for the past. I'm going to go almost 20 years because when
Yeah.
you worked at the Cook County Sheriff's Office, I worked at not a similar, but kind of same direction as Shawarma's going. Like
Okay.
I worked at
Sharma?
Sharma, I'm
Sharma.
sorry. I
Shawarma.
apologize, Mr. Sharma. No, at Cook County, we had two programs. So I worked at a boot camp for impact incarceration. So that was mandated, okay, that's what they called it. So I worked with inmates.
Been there, done that.
So it was wonderful. But I met my husband there. So I got there were good things
There
that
you
came
go.
from Cook County. But we had the one program that was very successful. The boot camp was success rate of like getting, 44% were staying out of prison and out of jail because we had aftercare. So when you're talking about, rehab, some of them were drug addicts, some of them were not drug addicts.
Sure.
But the drug addicts that we did have, we took them completely out of their element and put them in programs that were like downstate. Okay. So they were down there 30 to 60 days, but they were away from that environment of the temptation and living in a shithole. Okay. A lot of them were totally poor. It just,
Yeah.
you see things differently. but you also understand that there's a cause and effect, right?
Addiction shows no economic.
Right.
You could be the richest person or
Yes.
the brokest person.
So,
It
but
does
if
not
you
matter.
don't give them that option, like at the boot camp, we would break people down. We would call them ghost platoon when they came and they'd get their heads shaved.
Sure.
Everything was taken away from them. Their dignity, that you were stripped down, but you were built back up. Okay. So it built people, or let's say 17 to 35-year-olds. Okay. And the majority were black males. Okay. But we took them and we built them back up into something. We would make sure that they got their GED. If they didn't have a high school diploma, we would put them into vocational training. They would get them jobs like at the docks for $20 to $30 an hour.
Yeah.
This way, it's like, oh yeah, you want a job for $5 an hour over at McDonald's? Hell no. You want to give them something to feel good about. And your average recidivism rate, which 2020 just changed life, right?
Sure.
Used to be 95 to 99%.
Wow.
Think about that. What do you think it is now? It's like 300% or 600% because they don't even keep track to the statistics anymore. But we used to do that. Now, the female program I belong to, women don't have that same dignity that you can just bring back up. Don't ask me why. We try to do female platoons at the boot camp. They're just destroyed. And a lot of it is because, and not that I'm I don't think that all men are pigs. And I'm not like that. I'm not a feminazi. But, women are just destroyed from the get-go, depending on the situation that they come into.
Absolutely.
So if somebody's born in a poor environment, they're raped, they're taken advantage of, they're constantly birthing babies because they're constantly getting pregnant. They don't have any other options given to them. They're abused from the time they come out of the womb. And so how do you change that mentality? And if somebody's a drug addict that comes from that mentality, how do you bring that? It's a mental damage that how do you get deep at the heart and deep in the mind? It's almost impossible.
And the sobering up part's the easy part, honestly.
Yeah. But then how do you keep them sober? What reason do they have to want to be sober? So the female program we had was called Women's Justice. And so Women's Justice, we had a lot of former crackheads and prostitutes. And we had them working with us. And so granted, it was not the most professional environment, but it was crazy. But they would help. It was like I used to call it like a hug a thug or mental health therapy kind of, sessions. They did yoga together. They would have the kids come in together. And when they would have to come in and visit them in an incarcerated area, they made it more normal. They made it more home-like. They didn't treat it like mom is sitting in jail because of what it was clean clothes, normal looking, trying to give that change over. But
Absolutely.
that's a good thing to talk to about Dr. Sharm. But that was court mandated stuff.
Sure.
He does do a lot of court stuff. He gets people that have to go there for court.
Will County idea to look at.
Let me just tell you guys this. I've been to one of his rehab. Is that a rehab that we were at over
Rehabilitation place? Yeah. He doesn't like to say halfway house.
Yeah, I don't like to call him that. I don't know. I don't know what the proper word
either.
is with him, but I'm going to tell you something. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. Out on 53, there used to be the old Elks Lodge out there.
Mm-hmm.
He took that Elks Lodge, and you walk in there, and it is fucking nice. Like big, oversized couches and nice shit. I'm like, man, I could live here if I ever get kicked out of my house.
Nice.
It was really, really nice. And he does a very good job with taking these properties that are otherwise shitholes, like the cellar, and turning it into something that can actually be a positive thing for the community. So I have my own personal opinion on that. Steve, I'm looking at your one of your papers here, and it says, I believe in parental rights, and that goes right up my alley with a lot of things I like to do. Explain to me what that means.
That means that when your kid goes to school, learn reading, writing, and math. And with that, you're supposed to learn how to think, use your brain. So that means that sometimes you have to go out of the box to get the right answer. So we learned that very early in my life anyway. I was working on the docks when I was in the 4th or 5th grade.
Right.
So I learned how to earn money.
Exactly.
And my dad got the money.
Yeah.
Because you live in the house, you've got to pay your way.
Well.
But when parents tell you something, you got to listen to your mom and dad.
I feel
you
like
don't
that's
listen
so
to the
old
stupid
school.
teacher.
Kids do not listen to their parents anymore.
Well, that's the other problem. Why
Yeah.
do they? Like my kids, when they were growing up, they're telling me, "Hey, I got to have some money. Give me allowance." I ain't give you no allowance. But what I will do is I'll go over to the store. So I went to, it was like a store that sold stuff cheap.
Sure.
So I bought candy bars. I go sell the candy bars, and then you sell them for double what you got to pay me back. And then they would go sell candy bars.
Yeah.
And then that's your
Teaches a work
allowance.
ethic, right?
So that's what I do with my kids.
Yep.
So what do you think?
But the parents, this is when you're going to your question though, when they start having back, I don't remember the year when Al Gore was there. That was
Sure.
my first really bad experience with that stupid school district 205, where the high school.
Oh.
They wanted to show all these kids Al Gore's movie, so we rallied all the parents. Because we didn't think it's all baloney.
I
Climate
remember
change
this.
is some stupid
Schools
thing so
started
people
becoming
make money
political.
off of it.
I agree
Right,
with you.
that's
I
right.
think the climate change is just well, we're on a fucking planet. The climate changes, the weather changes. It's not because we're shooting rockets in the fucking sky. Because if that was the case, we'd have been dead a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
The ice is melting and we're going to be drowned. And, you know,
right.
come
And
on.
the aliens live
But-
underneath the
So
Antarctic. and
we
shit,
thought
too.
about it, and we had so many parents come that they finally agreed that they had, if the parents sent a note, they wouldn't have to watch a stupid movie. Then it got in, like nowadays, they want to teach your kid, well, if like you're a girl, you want an abortion? Well, take it. Don't tell your parents.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Oh,
Do you know this
right.
new thing that they're doing now? I know this because of my I got the notice of it. The school has to, it's a law. Like the school has to comply with it. It's not something they're choosing to
Yeah.
do. But they can pull your kid to the side and have them speak to a mental health counselor and
Yes.
then determine things
Yes.
based on what
Gender.
they say.
When I look at
Yeah.
parental
My
rights,
friend told me that the guy tells me, he says, they got my kid, they're forcing him to go to a shrink because they think he's a girl.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. Like, I got to
they
watch that.
took
No
away
swear.
No, you're
parental
fine.
choice.
You can swear
they
on this
took
one.
away parental choice, and we're not talking. Okay, doesn't matter what side of a political agenda you are on. It shouldn't. Not
It
in the
absolutely
school.
should not.
It should not. But in the schools, we've seen it. This has been the past 10 years now. It's become more and more polarized. So it depends on what your teacher wants to have taught, and they're teaching their political agendas. That's wrong. It's wrong on either side.
Yeah.
It is.
It's dominating on one side. It's become extreme on one side, and that's where it's become in the curriculum. It's become it's a daily. I mean, like you have children in our districts that make an oath to be a good global citizen every day. What is a
They have a pledge
that's really
allegiance.
great.
My kid was
Yes.
a Pledge Allegiance leader last week at school, man.
So-
I'm
so-
glad they still do it.
The Pledge of Allegiance doesn't take priority. The global citizen
That's crazy.
pledge takes
That's
priority.
absolutely fucking insane.
You know, and they're changing curriculum. They're changing the words to. I got upset when Common Core came in because they were changing the words to the Constitution.
Mm.
They were telling you your Second Right Amendments were, and this isn't textbook, that your Second Right Amendments were all about, you know, do you have a right to have a gun? Only if you don't do this, and this, you could have a gun. Well, that's not what it says.
I
That would-
mean, I'm a libertarian. I believe you should
That's
be able
what
to
I
drive
am.
your tank down to the cocaine dispensary, but that's just me because freedom is freedom and it doesn't matter if it's fucking there or
But
here. If we
this-
regulate that shit, we could make money. off
common
it.
sense and having a social heart, right?
Right.
That's kind. But we all know from being in government that the money only goes so far. Money does not grow on trees. People truly believe that money grows on trees, and there's this endless
That's
supply in the
fair.
government. And when we're talking about the budget, like this is what I don't understand. I really just want to ask this one thing about the budget. There, you know, by policy, okay, legislative policy says they need to have at least 25% in reserve. They have 33%. Okay. Once-
$94 million too much.
But
Well, not too
once-
much, but we have 23 million too much out of 94 million.
Once it gets past 25%,
I'd rather have too much and not enough.
why aren't you
Why are they taxing us all
reallocating?
that
You're
money?
supposed to reallocate.
Yeah, if they're so
and
broke.
why are you asking for more money?
Yeah.
And you know, when I was in office, he cut taxes when he worked for Homer Township. I cut the not cut the we cut the budget by 10%. And what we did was we demanded on staff, hey, every director, every department, come up with 10%. This is, 2021. I was nervous about money and funding. I'm like, learn how to budget.
Right.
And guess what? When you tell staff to do it, they're supposed to do it. They did it. And it didn't hurt any services because they're already skimming so much up.
Yeah.
There's so much fat, you guys, in
No,
government,
you're
and
right.
you can't stop it once they've got it in. And they figure taxes, I'll just keep increasing it because nobody really notices. That's where there needs to be more
You see,
accountability.
when I was a supervisor, I got voted out because 2,386 Democrats crossed over and voted in Republican primary. It's not like the
Why?
Republicans
Why?
because they don't like me.
You got to talk
They
into the microphone.
don't. The Democrats don't like me. From Homer Township.
But why?
Probably
but
all
why?
over the
Why?
place. Whatever.
But why?
Why?
I think it's because he's so hardcore
Because
conservative.
I stand for what's right. period. And I think it's immoral to raise property taxes. Period. It also hurts seniors and it hurts anybody, because if your house costs $100,000 when you bought it and it keeps going up in taxes, you think you're making money? No, because if you sell it for $150,000, you
Inflation is
think
just so out of
they can't get a
control.
loan.
Well, and here's the
because
thing.
they don't qualify.
Right. The
so
boomers.
this is stupid. What we're doing to people is so horrible. It's unreal, and that I don't believe that's
And
the
the
way God
mentality
wants
in
us
government
to do
is just increase it,
Well,
increase it,
we-
increase it.
When I was the supervisor, we cut $200 and something thousand out of the levy the first year. So it went from, when we got done, it went from 1.6 something down to 1.3 million. Right?
Sure.
How do we do that? We had good people on the board that were trustees. Everybody that was involved with the township, so the volunteers like Jennifer.
Sure.
Everybody volunteered. Everybody did jobs that they knew how to do. So instead of hiring out, we had
takes a
people
village,
to
right?
do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
it takes a
But when-
Just
village.
a township.
Right.
I noticed with Homer Glen, like I really started paying attention to stuff in 2021. It's so much drama there.
It
like,
is.
Man.
but why? Why? It's because I notice it's always the same people. It's the same players in the game.
I call it
never
hillbilly
ends.
elites because that's the mentality is it's like high school, right? They just want to hold on to that power. They want their money. They've got money going into their pockets, money coming under the table, backroom deals. And, when I went into office, I thought, oh, I can change this, right? Because I'm honest.
I'm gonna change.
I'm
the
not an
world.
asshole. Exactly. Like, and then it was like, man, I just got the shit beat out of me on that board. Like here, when we ran against a high density, low income housing, right? And so when we got in, we promised, okay, we're going to keep with the comprehensive plan that we have. I just found out 2 months ago that my lovely mayor of Homer Glen and her, flunkies, just passed a new plan for low income housing and where it's going. So this one tried to put in
Is that
senior
happening?
housing.
Is that
Oh
coming?
yeah, it's going to happen. They wrote out a whole entire plan. The resolution passed on September 24th.
Wow.
And that's
Wow.
our good buddy
And
Mike Laporte.
Guess
I was just getting ready to bring this.
Yeah,
Good old
fucking
Mikey
guy up.
got
When I
on there.
did it-
Okay,
Did you know when
and
I
he's a
did
real
it-
estate agent. Can't
See-
imagine how lucrative low income housing will be for him.
not
What do you
right.
think
No,
about
it's
this?
not.
I had a piece of open space property you can't even see from the street.
Okay.
Okay, so it's hidden, and everyone considered it open space, but it's because it was part of like a program. Open space, nobody bothers to read the laws. You can change it anytime you want. But that piece of open space was zoned for R2, excuse me, for residential housing.
Sure.
Right? So what are you talking about? We are farming it illegally. Right? So
Oh, we found out so much.
so
crap that
I
was
decided
not
I'm gonna
correct when we came
build
in.
a
But
senior
4 years is not enough time to
Senior
Senior
complex.
clean
yeah, and
You
what
can't
way
keep
we're gonna
up
do
when
it.
they're beating you up with garbage.
The seniors would own the houses. We're going to sell them for $225,000 for a 3-bedroom ranch house,
That's nice.
3 bedrooms,
It
2
would have been
baths,
amazing.
2-car
That would have
garage.
been affordable housing for seniors, right?
Right. And
What's
it
coming
counted.
in now?
That's
Let him
what
finish,
you
let him finish real
need.
quick. Go ahead.
So it counted for the low income housing thing.
Sure.
Right, and it was in the same spot George Lucas gave to the state to do the low income housing.
Okay.
Not the kind like I'm talking about.
Sure.
And the township would have never had another property tax for the rest of the existence of the township.
Wow.
So now you're going
And
to have low
the
income housing.
schools
And
did
in that
this.
plan,
$500,000
senior
for
housing.
the grade school.
that they didn't even come up with that
something
idea.
thousand for the
It's
high
all
school
going to be
with no
high-density,
kids, because in the
low-income
covenant I made
housing,
sure
which
the covenant.
opens it up to, unfortunately,
The-
what everybody fears saying, Section 8.
Well, the covenant of the deeds for the people that buy these houses would say no kids allowed and no renting. So that means no Section 8.
Right.
Okay, I got to
Okay.
say something.
Go ahead. Hit it.
Section 8 is not bad.
No.
But
Not-
just let
not
me,
everywhere.
but just hear me out saying this. Section 8 is not bad. Low income is not bad. There are people that really need it. There's people that tear it up and treat it like crap and destroy it.
Sure.
But whatever you guys do in Homer Glen, make sure you get the right management company in there, right? Make sure you have the right lawyer
Exactly.
behind it that's not
Exactly.
greedy.
And I don't trust what's in it, and not when you have 3 guys on a board that are all real estate
Right,
agents.
because they
that
don't
tells
care.
me
They're going to be selling land like
that's
crazy.
right. One of the things, and you're absolutely right, because I looked what exactly constitutes as being low income housing, right? And there's a whole bunch of different brackets. I really did a lot of research yesterday because I literally just read the resolution yesterday.
People blame the tenants. If you don't fix it when something's wrong,
30% rule, okay, of
Yeah.
income, okay, and so in the median income, you go by what the median income. In Homer Glen, it happens to be anywhere from 125 to 131,000. So then when you do the math, the 30% rule ends up being okay. Somebody who makes about 37,000 to 39,000,
Sure.
okay, but that's what I made 25 years ago.
Right.
It's like so
Right.
you're really. You have to look at, how it changes the demographic, how it changes in Homer Glen. I don't want to sit there and say where I live is racist because I don't believe it is in my heart. But you have people that they came out in droves in 2021. They did not want high density.
where's it going to
housing.
be at out there?
Oh, they're the way when I looked, they already have it in the plan.
Are we
I'll
talking
send
like
you-
towers, buildings, stuff like that? Or
I
just kind of on
don't
a
know.
smaller
And the
level?
worst part about it was if somebody comes to them, that you always have to read the fine print, and nobody likes to read the fine print, right?
Absolutely.
This horrified me. It's literally written into the plan. If a developer comes along with a low income housing, plan, they can speed through and bypass with the zoning. And I was like, what? That's not, but yeah, now it's because, so-and-so who knows so-and-so can come and say, well, I'll make some low income housing for you.
Yeah,
okay?
you can't. You
And
got to
then
watch
they're
who your
gonna come up
lawyer is. You
and
got to
then-
watch who your lawyer
But
is.
here, who's watching it? It's supposed to be your board. Your same board just
I was
opened it
just
up.
getting ready to say, where's the
Didn't give
checks
a
and
rat's
balance?
ass. There is none. And that's what my
Yeah,
loving
I know
mayor
there
and
isn't.
dipshit Lepore, they are all, do you know what I mean? All about me, special interest.
Yeah, well, they're going to be sorry
There's
because that's
no-
not fair to those people.
Had they put something in there about the senior housing, that would have made me feel like an inch better. The other thing is, yes, we were not up to par with the Affordable Care Act, right?
Okay.
But 2 years ago, and I don't understand what changed. 2 years ago, when I was still there, my staff told me, I'm like, look into this because there was a HUD proposal building that was going to go in on 159th and Parker.
You know why that came.
Yeah, I know. So we'll keep that crazy to ourselves.
Yeah.
But so I had fought valiantly against it, but I was not opposed if it helped us reach that Affordable Care Act level, because that level is about 10%. We at the time were at like 4 to 5%. And they said, listen, they did the numbers, they did the math, they called all the government agencies. And they're like, as long as you make sure that your number's going up a little bit each year and it stays within a certain percentage, you're in compliance. You're making it get to where it needs. In the plan, they admit that we're at 7.4% right now. So that means it still went up over the last couple of
Sure.
years. How are we not in compliance? And why do we have to recreate the wheel and open everything up to low income housing, left and right?
I
That's
just
because there's
You know where the
something
low
in it
income,
for
you know
them.
where it goes,
Yes.
what happens? Why we got 7%? There's no complexes.
Right.
Steve, it's
Because-
7.4%.
Yeah, I know,
so
but
it
I could
keeps
tell you
increasing.
why. If I decided to sell my house,
okay.
I'd lose money. But if I rented it to a low income, I'd get money.
And
And
that's
if
what
they
the
break something, the government
And the
pays
government's
to
writing you
fix
a
it.
check, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
It's,
so people
it's
that are
guaranteed rent.
the
is what
people
it is.
are
They're
renting
gonna get
their
money.
houses out. That's why I said in that plan I had, you couldn't rent.
Right.
We already have Section 8
But we've
on
got
Bell
it,
Road.
and we've
There's
got a lot
of it
of
over in a townhome subdivision that's next to our Home Depot in Myers. That's been that way for over 4 years.
But is it nice, or is the management
Yeah.
company
I used
nice?
to work at that Chili's over there.
I don't know.
was
It's
a
a
manager.
management. Wait for it. It's a management company that former trustee Carlo Caprio used to be in charge of.
but
Lord.
the
Ding, ding, ding.
The houses are real nice over there, but
I don't know. I can't
if
speak
the
to it.
government's going to pay to fix it, the landlord don't care,
Why?
so he's
Who does
going
he
to
care who
fix
lives
it.
there, right?
So
Yeah.
many people lost their jobs since 2020 and their income levels went down. That's what was explained to me by my staff, was that the reason why our numbers were creeping up was unfortunately because the economy has hit everybody so hard. So it actually was bringing us up to where we needed to be. And it's continued, because if it was like 4.5% a few years ago, you're at 7.5 almost now, then there's no reason to be creating a whole plan to open it up to such a level that
Sure.
that's not what Homer Glen likes its rural charm. We're not an urban sprawl. If you want to do it in an urban sprawl, that's fine. We don't have walkability.
No.
Poor
And
people
you don't really
need
have
walkability.
buses and stuff
No,
like that.
we
So
don't
the
have
infrastructure's not there
transportation.
for 'em, right?
Right.
So exactly. So that's the key here is that's where you need to have that kind of. So Orland Park has a ton.
Yeah.
Orland
they
Park,
do.
but Orland Park has their township has buses. There's the train right there.
Right.
There's walkability. There's lots and lots
Sure.
of strip malls with grocery stores and restaurants. We don't have that in Homer,
Right.
and that was what Homer
That's a
was.
money grab for other people. They don't care about the
Where
residents.
we are an open space for them to come in and just rape us with this, and I feel bad because this is why people end up moving, because now you've destroyed our rural charm and nature of our community. It has nothing to do with the poor people. That's not.
Right.
Everybody has a heart. Not everyone is heartless.
I agree
But
totally.
if you
I'm
have a
with it.
house,
Yeah.
okay, so we had a
They don't
division.
care about the people that
The
are moving in
development.
there.
So
No.
there was a development. The homes were worth $800,000 to $1 million. An empty lot was like $300,000.
Right.
And then somebody wanted to develop next door, and they wanted to put in houses, and it cost $200,000. And it was like, I can't do that to the people next door. That's not
Right.
fair.
Right.
They work just as hard. It's not. And I'm like, can you maybe look a couple?
And so the thing with Homer,
quarters over?
I'll be honest with you, is so when I went to Providence, all my friends lived in Homer, right? So back then in the 90s, Homer was not like this huge village. I mean,
We had
these-
gravel roads.
Yes, there was all kinds like what's that Will Cook Road or something like
Yeah.
that. That was out there. It was like in gravel roads, I think at some point.
Yeah. Gauger was
it was
gravel.
a nice place then.
It was. It was a very.
It was
nice
Mayberry.
Place then. It
People
was Mayberry. That's a
haunted.
great way
You
to
know
think
what?
of
You
it.
can take
and
a gun
Yeah.
and go hunt. You know, it's
And
like,
there's nothing wrong with having a Mayberry, but nothing lasts forever.
I live in Mayberry. I love it.
I know, like keep it, but nothing lasts forever. That
No.
bubble is bound to change, and and I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Like, why are they widening 143rd Street? Why do they want superhighways? And it's because they have plans. Downstate Illinois has plans for Will County, and I don't think a lot of us are going to like it. And then, unfortunately, you're just giving everybody who's just holding on barely by a thread, they're going to want to jump out of state. So you're just pushing good people to get out because it's not affordable and it's not
but
where you
we're
want to live
corrupt.
anymore.
That's the problem.
That too.
If we weren't corrupt, none of
Nobody's
this
arguing.
crap would be going on.
Steve, I'm going to give you the last word. We're out of time.
Oh, what do you want me to say?
Whatever you want to say.
all
I
right.
love it.
Well, you know what? I could tell you that, to me, the most important thing that we could do as elected officials, which that's what I am, is to follow your morals. And when I say that,
Absolutely.
means don't raise the taxes on people ever unless you have no other friggin' choice. Don't do it. And then when it comes to land use and things like that, don't hurt the existing people. That's why I vote no to every single solar project, because we need land for
Oh, they're
farming.
creeping up on me, man. I see them all
Yeah.
out there.
You're supposed to get one that's like 5 miles wide.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the heck is that? That's farmland.
Yep.
And that kind of stuff just pisses
And
me
it
off.
destroys the land. too.
So,
does.
I get like I'm always calm, but I can get
Get a little
riled
fired up every once in a while.
But
I get
I
it.
mean,
he's like a little spark plug.
but but when I'm at the board, I'm not fighting for stuff that's going to benefit me. I'm fighting for stuff that benefits every
Yeah, we
single
don't make money
person.
from this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Absolutely.
looking. That's the problem. A lot of people are pushing some kind of thing because they're going to get something for it. You know,
Something
they're-
out of it. Right. What's in it for me?
Yeah, and so to me, that's immoral. And so elected officials like myself, and you got a podcast now, so you're kind of in the same boat. When you croak, guess what? God's going to say, "Why did you do that?"
Right.
And then you got to say, "Well, I was scared." Well, now what?
Yeah.
Then you turn your head. Oh,
Now I'm scared.
I screwed up. Yeah, but I mean that's the bottom line. You got to always do what you think is right, and stick by it, and not be afraid of nobody. And if nobody else likes it, too bad.
And the family nucleus is very important. We have to keep it together. We have destroyed the family nucleus in this country. And, we talk about addiction and mental health. And I'm going to get out of here after this because I said Steve could have his last word. But we talk about addiction and mental health. Those problems go up exponentially in a fatherless home, right? So we got to keep it. We've destroyed the family nucleus in this country. It's okay to be a single mom working 10 jobs and cut dad off. It's not okay, right? And that's what happens. Kids have too much time on their hands, and we got to support our young guys. So
Wait,
Yeah.
we gotta make sure that because when I said you were coming on the show, I already talked to you about this. Just that whole thing that happened with you calling Black people shine, that upset people. So I know you wanted to apologize for that,
Well,
or whatever you want to do.
well, let's put it like
Explain
this.
it, whatever.
How many times have you
it-
apologized for this already?
Talk
It-
into the mic.
this was concerning me and a real good friend of mine, and we're just talking at a meeting that was inconsequential, and it was videoed, and it's
Always a gotcha moment.
like when you swear, okay, whatever, all right. So we talk like that to each other. That's how things are, I
Sure.
won't even say the things that he calls me, but I mean,
I have an Italian friend. I get it.
yeah. So I mean, to me, the whole thing is like, and it's like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, see, I didn't know it was in like
I mean,
2021.
the Democrats and Homer, they can't find nothing else to get me on, so they go after stuff. They scour Facebook to find something bad on me,
Right.
and it don't matter if it's 50 years old. Come on. This is like stupid talk, and it's everything's taken out of context. So if I said you got a green shirt on, they're going to say,
No, it's blue.
No, they say he said he didn't have a shirt on, and they won't play that part. They just lie. I mean,
Yeah,
and that's just
I get
it.
it.
Facebook became not what it used to be. It
No.
became a place just for controversy.
Well, when people started, when we allowed, well, not we
Wait,
allowed.
let him finish.
Go ahead.
'Cause I
I'm sorry.
want
Go
him
ahead.
to,
Yeah,
I want
go
you
ahead.
to-
Yeah.
Are you sorry for saying that?
Well, let's put it like this: when I talk, I try not to say words like that.
Yeah.
And I think that the best thing to do is look at it in a different way and say, all right, so it happened.
But I mean, when you explained it to me, you were really sincere. You were like, I am sorry. I'm going to Toastmasters.
I am going to Toastmasters.
Yeah, yeah.
And why am I going there? So I can learn to talk without swearing and about saying
that's
stuff.
okay.
Don't try to take me
Saying
with you.
inappropriate
That's okay.
things.
But inappropriate speech.
Yeah.
When I grew up, that ain't inappropriate speech. I wouldn't say it on the radio,
Great.
but
Now
Yeah.
Blaine's going to sign me up for this
but
shit.
the
No.
stuff, the stuff.
Somebody tried to sign me up for it, too.
Everybody would have a name.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No, I get it.
So that's how we grew up.
But
And so- and
does it make it acceptable now? I think
It's
is
not
the point.
acceptable now because
Right.
society has changed.
It has.
So people that are my age, just think about something. I'm 75,
Sure.
right? I grew up, and when you're talking about the word that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
go find a book from 1960
Yep.
or a newspaper. They didn't have the word black.
Yep. And we've become really soft as a society because people have tried to
I say
make
black.
everything into
My
racism.
dad's black.
Yeah, her
I
dad's
call my
black.
dad
And
black.
here-
I say-
But we
But here-
didn't have
But it was
that.
colored
say
back
African
then.
It was
American
called
to some people.
and color.
but
It was called
some people don't
Negro
want
or
to do
color.
it. I
That's
just
it. Right.
And-
so it's a
and
fine line.
Every neighborhood, like I could use the names for me. If I went in one neighborhood, I was
Absolutely.
I know
a
he doesn't want to
greaseball.
be offensive. It's just it's
know,
how do you say the right things?
I don't
now
think you meant
when
it
it's
to be
kind of-
No,
mean.
I know,
but I think it was
absolutely
brought
not.
like the way I think that they tried to go after you with that.
Well,
And I get it. Everybody's so
they
evil
don't like
lately.
anything I say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reality of
And
it
the
is,
person he said it about is an amazing guy.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
he's
we're-
an amazing
we are-
conservative.
we
and
are friends.
We are very
But
close
when
to
I
him.
first heard it,
You
I
know-
was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's-
but they
I mean,
make
they
it sound.
dig up shit on me from 20 years ago, so I'm
Yeah,
not
but
surprised.
they make it. You know what it is? They make something that you
I'm so
are.
glad there's no video of me.
Or when you say something, like your friends.
Yeah.
Like if we weren't on the radio, I would talk to Justin. Mama mia, the stuff that would be coming out of our mouth
Yeah.
would not be good.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
It how would you say it would be not fit for society?
You're right.
But guess what? That's how friends talk.
You're right. But I
And-
think
and-
what I
and-
saw was in a meeting, right? I got to stay
It
away
was
from
the-
him because I'm starting to do this.
I know it's contagious.
Yeah.
I almost
Like
caught
this.
myself earlier. I was like, wait a minute.
It was a Republican committeeman meeting.
Okay. Yeah. So
All right,
I mean,
and it was all friends
yeah.
in the room, and everybody knows the person,
Mhm.
and we're all friends, and we go to breakfast together, for
Yeah,
God's
yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
I mean, we're friends, so we talk to each other differently.
It's a gotcha
And-
moment for someone.
Yeah,
Someone
and
thought they
so-
had a gotcha
He's
moment on
been
And
it.
to
then-
my house for
And
dinner.
then,
You know, like,
nobody even bothers to
I consider him like
watch the whole
family, so.
whole thing, because I was trying to explain to people that we got to understand when people say stuff, just because you take it one way, it doesn't mean it's the other, because language is words. Like you could say
Sure.
red, and red to me is like
Something
the
else.
color.
Right.
And the color red could be like that color, and it could be a color of blood. It could be the color of a dark red. So you got to be in person. That's why you can't use a computer,
Sure.
and you
oddly,
can't, because
oddly enough, the Black Chamber still praises him, and how come they didn't
Don't get me started on the Black Chamber.
Well,
John.
I know they're your favorite,
No,
especially a couple people.
No, I got an award from the national
but the black,
one.
but the Black
Not
real
the
one.
one,
They're
not
very,
the
yes,
not the one from
The
here.
real one.
I got it for
Yes.
legislative outreach.
Sure.
All right,
So-
and it had.
So I think they would vet their candidates a little bit better. That they
Well,
would be praising.
I actually said
But
some
I mean,
stuff
bottom
I
line,
shouldn't.
it was wrong to say it that
You
function,
know what?
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I get it.
Do
Yeah,
you want to apologize for saying it, or
I mean,
I know you don't want to. I know it. I can tell it. I can sell it.
I'm thinking about
Do
it.
it because you want. If you want to, you
If you
do
want-
it.
No,
if
the
you do
reason
it.
the reason I don't want it because there was nothing to apologize
about
for.
I was.
he
saw that
doesn't?
going
He
on, yeah.
doesn't.
If you want to
He
take,
didn't mean
if I
anything
do something
hurtful when he
bad,
did it.
if I do something wrong, I'm not afraid. Hey, I screwed up and admit it and say, I'm sorry I screwed up. Hey, it won't be the first time because I'll screw up a lot of time. Everybody does. But when you didn't do nothing wrong, how do you apologize for something that you didn't do wrong?
But
Sure.
do you really think that saying shine is not wrong? Like, do you think that's right?
No, I just told you. I know that in society now it don't work.
Yeah.
All right, just like calling me a dago,
Yeah.
that don't work.
Yeah.
But do I care if they call me that? No.
That's because we have thicker
No.
skin, but there's
Yeah,
still a lot of
yeah.
people
No,
that
but
don't have thick
yeah.
skin.
that's all
All
these
right.
young people that don't know how to read and write. They're the young people that can't count dollars. I mean, come on. I get it. I don't
You
want
have a
to.
hard time saying sorry, don't you? Just say it. Just admit
Maybe
it.
it's an Italian
Yeah,
thing.
it is an Italian.
100%
yeah.
Italian thing. What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about? A Mexican thing
I
too.
know.
But what we're looking at is what do you if you didn't do nothing that you believe is
Wrong. Then why are you apologizing?
why you apologize? Now,
But you did. You
but-
did think, didn't he?
but-
You thought it. You
but-
did think it was
but-
wrong.
But what I'm saying is it's wrong to talk like that now.
Yeah.
Now,
If you're in your home and you say it, whatever.
No,
like
but I
you
mean-
were at a.
No,
what I'm saying it's
I
wrong.
I don't think
to-
it's ever okay to just like
No.
be a racist, but I think that
No,
people
no.
take a lot of shit out of context, right? Like
Yeah.
I have black friends that call me nastier shit than Shine, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you, like they talk some shit to me
Yes.
and we laugh about it. It's funny, like I
That's
don't
what I
really
mean,
care.
I worked at the Cook County Jail. I have
Yeah.
been like, and the jokes. I would be in prison probably for half the stuff
I
that was said back and forth.
I know. That's why I
and
just think
wouldn't
we're just
because. But I worked
Sally-ass
with every
society.
color and creed proudly. Like
I just think
it
that's why people have their
and that
claws in you about.
Well,
Well,
they
you
just
know
gotta
what
have
they don't
something
like
to bitch
about
about,
me?
too.
I
It's
put
a
a
cringe-worthy thing.
I put a manger up in front of the township.
Yeah.
They didn't like
I
it.
remember that.
Okay, they had a heart
I
attack.
remember something about that, a manger, and then
Then he turned the flag upside
The
down. That really
flag.
got pissed.
The
Well,
flag.
yes, yes, he did.
And when I look back at that, that was a mistake.
There you go.
I agree with you because our country is not in distress.
Shouldn't
but
always be
I
political.
thought it was, and that's why I did. I was really upset because of all the stuff that was happening national. It's like we're falling apart. And
But you admitted it.
Yeah.
You just admitted that was wrong.
Yeah.
So to
Well,
me,
I
that's
mean,
good.
he
You
can
could
take
admit it.
ownership. I
No,
love
I'm not
it.
afraid to say I'm sorry
He's growing.
or I mess up. But I,
He's 75.
if I do something that or say something wrong, I shouldn't have did that.
I need to put
You know,
booze in my
but
cup next time.
Wait, what happened if? Okay, so you put a
gotta
manger
draft
there.
these, Julia. They don't
You
like me.
put a manger there. What happened if somebody wanted to put a menorah there? Would you have allowed that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah, but
I thought there was something where.
Oh no, there was something. Of course, they wanted to put no God and no.
Oh,
some kind. So I
what
told
is it,
my
the
maintenance.
Temple of
Krampus.
Satan.
Krampus.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it wasn't
so,
Krampus.
So
Krampus.
guess what I did?
It's,
I'm the
Church of Satan
supervisor. I
or
told my
some crap.
maintenance crew to take it down and
That-
put it on the side
that
of the
was
building.
That was another Will
Right.
County
And
candidate.
then the police
Miss
called
Sherry
because they
Bonnicki
said I stole it. Nice.
wanted
I
to
don't
put a
even want to
devil
touch it.
thingy?
It's got cooties.
because they celebrate that.
We're gonna have to take it out of here.
Time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. It's been really fucking fun, man. I love it. We're gonna hope to get you back here soon. It's been great.
Merry Christmas.
So we got Terry
Yeah,
Newsom. He's
thank
sitting
you.
over there. He's
Yeah.
he's coming on next. He's gonna tell us all this shit about Max. What's his name?
Rice.
Maxi Pad Rice and Joseph Severino. So we're gonna hear all about it later. I should probably not have
Oh,
said
God bless
that.
you
These
guys.
are
I
good.
like the
Thank you.
Severino. That's a
That was
very
him. I
That
just stole that
that's
from him.
him.
good job.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.